Welcome to the Real Estate Fight Club, a podcast for agents where you'll witness a battle of opinions about topics affecting your real estate business. Now, always in your corner, here are your hosts, Jen Mertland and Monica Weekly.
Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Fight Club. I am here with my fearless co-host, Jennifer Mertland.
Definitely not scared of you, Monica.
Oh, really? You should be after the last episode.
Oh,
Bam! Are you still bruised a little bit from that episode?
Agree to disagree. Agree to disagree.
Man. If you did not catch episode 135, go on back and get entertained.
Such a bragger.
Man. All right, guys. As always, we love you, our listeners. We're so happy you're here for another episode. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing and subscribing and all the things you do. We appreciate you. Today, Jen and I are going to duke it out over this. Should you increase the list price to reflect the offer after you're under contract? And this is mostly for the purpose of the appraisal. So you get a house under contract, you got more than the list price. Do you go back in, bump the price to reflect it to be more aligned with what you got, whether you put it right at it or near it or whatever?
Whatever it is.
Yeah. What do you think, Jen?
You go first.
Okay, can we have a caveat that I'm not sure you and I know, like, the broker answer to this? And so,
wait, no, I think that's should be a caveat on everything.
We should say it, everyone.
In fact, I would even take it one step further. Whatever I say is probably not what
That's right. This is for entertainment purposes only. Right. Please do not follow our advice. Okay, so we're saying that. I actually don't know what the rule is. So my answer is no. That I'm not comfortable doing that. I'm not doing that.
Why?
I don't see how that. I mean, everybody's going to see that.
Huh?
Everybody's going to see it anyway. You're not freaking tricking anybody.
Right, but so we used to do it like a while ago. We don't do it now because I've had a couple of appraisers be like, "Stop doing that."
Oh, really? Okay, I think that's the end of today's episode once again. God, that was crazy.
See that you do that and it makes no difference.
Well,
but I
that's
feel
what
like
I'm saying.
In the beginning, like when I don't know, it's hard to know because we don't really know the appraiser process, right? But I do know part of the process is answering the question, what is the list price? And for me, I thought, well, if I want them to get close to the list price or higher, I know that they get the contract, but if one of the questions is what is the list price, I would like it to all match so that then they don't have to say this is why there's a discrepancy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey there, you liking this video? Go ahead and hit subscribe so you get all the latest videos.
And it is actually more accurate.
Well, it is, but I think it can be expressed in a different way other than going back and falsifying the list price, because that wasn't the list price.
I mean,
it wasn't the list price.
I mean, that's true.
And again, today's episode is brought to you by all our favorite partners. I do let the appraiser know. I think it's my job as the listing agent to say, hey, we were in multiple offers of 3. They were all right around this price, or hey, one was higher and we just didn't accept it because of something. But he needs to know what the demand on the product was. I think that's helpful.
I think I want to circle back to that because I want to talk about what is an appraiser, like what is the package that you give an appraiser. But I think my thought process came from when I started my career, I was a wholesaler and we processed short sales. And part of the thing about processing short sales is most of these people had to fill out a form and it was check boxes. So our goal was to give them what they needed. That was true. That would also help them give what we need, right?
Why did you hesitate on that? Was true.
I feel like we know. Anyway, so in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, an appraiser, they have this form they have to fill out. They have questions they have to answer. One of the questions is, what was the price? Well, we got we got what the market said it was worth. That is a good price for the house. So let's just put it on there. It never actually occurred to me that it was not the actual list price, which is hilarious.
It's not. Nope.
It's not. But in my head, I was thinking like, oh, this will help them
see what
justify the value, because I don't know how often they're looking at my package, right? And we do talk, but like they're doing a billion not a billion, but they're doing a lot. So are they going to even remember our conversation? Let me make this easy, right?
Yeah. I wish the lender had a supplement, like an addendum to their request. And I don't know what that looks like from lender to appraiser. I don't know what that
they
paperwork
can't really talk
looks like
anymore since 2000
Oh, that's true. But they do send the contract to them because they need to know the contract price.
I think it goes through the what are they called, ACMs or something, AMG.
I wish there was a piece on there that said, were there multiple offers, how many offers, like, because then the buyer demand piece can come into play for the
but
appraisal.
does it even matter? Do you know what I mean?
According to some appraisers, it does. They like to know that. We've asked that. We've had like little lunch and learns, and we've asked them. And while the appraised value is obviously different than the market value, it does help them evaluate the house if they know that 6 buyers also wanted to pay this price. They can justify that.
But if 6 buyers wanted to pay the price, but it's totally not justified from the comparables, and maybe even not completely justified with the trends, then it kind of doesn't matter.
Well, it's funny because Susan Rissover, hey Susan. She's a great agent in this city, works with her husband Arlen. So hey
Arlen.
I remember Susan asking this question to an appraiser: is if you always have to look backwards, then how do we ever push the price?
Right.
And it's just what we're talking about. How do you ever move forward on that if you're always looking backward? And the answer was, we want to know if that buyer demand is there. We can then make the argument for the growth
and they
in the
are
market.
Supposed to look at trends, and they're supposed to take that into account, especially now, right? Like in in weird markets where you're either going up or going down pretty drastically. They are required to look at trends, but they also don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, you're right. And I don't pretend to know their whole world. I'm not a licensed appraiser.
Thank God.
Thank
more.
Goodness.
I think, why don't we take a break, and when we come back, I want to let's talk about what should be in that package to the appraiser. Okay,
let's do it.
All right, let's hear a word from our favorite partners.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hi guys, Monica Weekly here. You know how you're supposed to post about real estate every single day on Facebook? Yes, you do. And the reason is, if we don't remind our Facebook friends what we do for a living and how we help people, they will forget about it. We know it's our job to inform, educate, and demonstrate what we do for a living. Well, I'm coaching agents all around the country, and they understand that, but they're not doing it. And I ask them, why aren't you doing it? Probably just like you. And they said, Monica, we don't know what to post. Can we just borrow your stuff? Because I love creating Facebook posts. And these can often be used over on Instagram as well. So I said yes, and people were borrowing my stuff. So I created finally a product that you can sign up for free. It is free, guys. There is no reason for you not to sign up for this. It's ghostposter.com, GHOSTPOSTR, no E in there, just TR.com. And what you're going to get is you're going to get a Facebook posting idea to your email every single day. So not only do you have this great idea, but you've been reminded, oh yeah, I need to post. And that's Monday through Friday. And if you don't love the post, or you think, gosh, I'd like something else, well, you're also going to get access to a library of over 600 different posts for you to choose from by category. You're going to love it. Go sign up, ghostposter.com. Don't waste a minute. And then be sure to join the private Facebook group. All right, I'll see you in there. Welcome back. Let's get back to the battle inside the ring, close out our final round, and also talk a little bit about this idea. What is our role as a listing agent to provide information to the appraiser that helps the cause without wanting to influence the cause? Like the supporting documentation, and how do you approach that?
We're not trying to influence it? I thought that's what we were doing.
Well, I mean, within the lines. within the lines. Don't be sending them
and
gifts.
If you want the side B version.
Yeah, the Jen Mertman version.
Can I tell you a quick story? This
Please.
Probably should not be recorded. Anyway, so here, what happened was.
What happened?
So this was before I was a licensed agent. I was an investor, right? So we did the short sales, and the bank would send out a BPO agent, which was usually a licensed agent, real estate agent. They'd pay them $50 or $100 or whatever it was to go and kind of like evaluate the property. So we had this one property. I needed the value to come in at a specific number.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was pretty gross inside. And this was probably like 2009. Okay. So we get there, and it was a pretty nasty place and weird. This house was so weird. They had like this door to this closet. There was a lock on the inside of the closet.
What?
I know. And on the outside of that, there were like all these marks, like somebody was stabbing it with a knife.
Like, let me in.
Yes. Isn't that? Anyway.
Oh, that's creepy.
I digress.
Oh,
creepy house. Ugh. Creepy house. Anyway, so we get there, and I have my BPO package. That's what we called it, a BPO package, a broker price opinion package. And it had all the stuff we're probably going to talk about. But then I also handed her a mask. And she's like, "Are you going to come in?" And I was like, "No, thank you."
Oh my God.
We came in value.
Oh, there you go.
Because you're like setting your environment matters, right? So
yes,
in her head, she's like, "Oh, this is going to be a gross house." And it was, but it wasn't like, I mean, I exaggerated a bit.
Right.
But so that helps.
You sent the message. Yeah. That's great.
So this, what we're doing here, we are trying to influence it, right? Like, this is a great house. We always tell them like the number, especially if we're trying to get more than we listed for, right? So we had this many showings in this short amount of time. We had this many offers, and here's how the offers were laid out. Do you say all that? So you go
into that much detail?
Yeah, hell yeah. They're appraisers. They love details.
Yeah, they do. They do love details. Yes, I'll give one like really good comp, especially if I know something about it that's not obvious on the MLS. Like, hey, this one really smelled like cat pee or smoke, or hey, this was a really good comp, and I went through it, and I know it's a year and a half, but it's exactly la la la, and we've had this much growth. And then I will do the lay out the offers and how many we got, just to give the impression. I usually say, like, I think I could have sold it for $20,000 more if we would have if we would have thought the appraisal would have happened. Like, I want him to know what I felt through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you just call, or do you send something to the appraiser?
Both, because I like to talk to them, because I think that you can influence. I know you're not supposed to, but you can influence people verbally more than.
Yeah.
And they usually answer.
And they do. And I think if you approach it in the right way, they appreciate it. You can say, hey, I know you've got your process. I just thought this might help. Right. I thought you might be interested in this information, not, hey, here's how to do your job. I mean, you got to be really careful, I think, with that. Yeah.
But I also think, like, so we use showing time. And a lot of times, like, when we're setting it up for agents to view it with their clients, they can use the app. But for the appraiser, we turn it off. They have to call me.
Tip of the day. Tip of the month.
I forced you to talk to me.
What?
Right?
Oh my gosh. That's good. That's good. Because usually I'm like, I'm getting it. I'm like, oh, appraiser. Okay, good. I got to get that over to them. I got to call them. But this forces the call.
Forces the call.
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding dong.
Ding dong. Well, even though I kicked your ass today, I think you win because of that tip.
What happened? I don't think that happened at all.
Well, last episode I did, so.
Fine, okay, last episode. Jesus, a week ago. Good, Monica. Right?
Can we talk about
too much? You know, that's another podcast.
This is true. Can I talk about another tip of the day that is completely unrelated, but I'm going to say it because it's on my mind right now?
Do it. Give it to us.
Where was this? I cannot remember where I saw this.
Wash your hands. Was that the tip?
No. This agent goes to their listing appointments, which I know we've done a podcast on. Inspections. The agent goes, which I do not, and you do not. But this agent goes, but not for the purpose of sitting around the house for 3 hours. The agent goes like maybe an hour before and maybe an hour in, and knocks the neighborhood and says, hey, I brought the buyer to this house. I just wanted to let you know there'll be a strange car in the driveway, and I just wanted to let you know what was going on there today. There's an inspection.
That's a really good idea.
Isn't that great?
Who was that agent? We need to give him a shout out.
I am going to figure it out, and we'll put it hopefully in the show notes here.
I think it's an awesome idea.
Isn't that cool? Because it's so like casual, but it, you get in a conversation with somebody. Hey, how are you? How are you liking that house? Or
thought about selling.
Yeah, I thought about selling, but I just wanted to provide you this notice, like just in case you wondered what the strange.
Or you get the neighbors that are standing like on the lawn in their underwear, like that house floods.
Yeah,
found one of those.
Never, but I can imagine people have.
Oh
yeah.
God,
did they tell you about the fire? All right, I think that's gonna.
But you can also use that tip. So let's say in this market, a lot of times you're only showing one house, right? Mm-hmm. So you could stay after the showing and door knock too, and be like, "Hey, I have a client that's looking in this neighborhood. Have you thought about selling?" And that way, you're not just like going out there for one thing and driving back.
Right. Yeah, and that you could say like that house wasn't actually going to work for them for this one reason, or we feel like there's going to be too many offers there and we might not get it. Do you? Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Who else do you know in the neighborhood that's thinking of selling? Who do you not like? I'll go knock on their door. Who should we move out? Oh wait, it's you? Okay, I'm sorry.
If you like everybody in the neighborhood, then you're the one that everybody doesn't
you're the
like.
one.
Yeah, that's right. All right, I think that's going to have to be the end of today's episode, although there were a couple little late nuggets there. If you waited around this long, you just got some nuggets. Yeah, well, that's right.
We got the guest too still.
At the guest. Let's see what happens there, what we think about there. If they're doing illegal things with the list price, we'll see.
Relax.
Relax. Okay.
There is no realtor jail. If you listen to What Would You Do, you will realize that.
Yeah. Audience. It's There's the Wild West. Jail. All right, guys, if you enjoyed today's episode, will you do us a favor and please share it? And also make sure you're subscribed so that you get notification when we roll out new episodes. We do Real Estate Fight Club every Monday, and then Jen does What Would You Do every Wednesday. So we always got it coming to you.
Always good stuff. Yes.
Yep.
Make sure you like us on Instagram, Real Estate Fight Club Podcast Instagram page. We're doing some funny stuff there. Same thing on Facebook and Facebook. Facebook. And if you're interested in working with Monica and I, we'd love to chat with you about
Yes. Let's see what that looks like, guys.
If you want to have fun in real estate again.
That's right.
Give us a call. We'd love to talk about partnering with you. Our number is 513-400-1691. Monica, have a super great day.
Jen, this was fun. I'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, I am here with our tiebreaker, Madeline Jones. She is out of Newtown, Pennsylvania with Berkshire Hathaway, Fox and Roach. Hey, Madeline.
Hi, Jen. How are you?
Good. I'm glad you could be on today. Your comment when we posted this question, I was like, it struck me really funny. So
I sent a laughing emoji and I said to my friend, why is she laughing at that?
I don't know. It was just funny to me. So I'll ask you the question. So should you increase the list price to reflect the current offer? Like, do you think there's any benefit to it for the appraiser?
No.
Right. No. Okay.
Yeah, right to the point. No.
I
mean, the appraiser is going to see the property history.
Right.
They're going to go in there and they're going to see that you changed the price of the property on the same day that you went under contract. They're not idiots.
Yeah, right. Well, right. I mean, that's true. I never really thought about it like that until Monica and I were fighting about it, but in my head, I was thinking if the market changes, right? And as the market goes up, and if one of their things on their form is what is the list price and it matches the offer, then wouldn't that be a good thing?
Yes, it would in theory, but appraisers have access to all that. They have access to the listing and they're going to look at the property history. So they're going to see that it changed. So from my point of view, one thing is, who's to say that appraiser, and not to say that this happens or that it's ethical or correct or anything. Probably doesn't happen. But who's to say you're not going to get an appraiser who's like going to see that and go, what are they trying to do? Do they think I'm an idiot? And then they get like a burr up their butt.
Right.
Get out on you.
No, you're right. That makes sense. Do you know, I had an appraiser tell me the other day, he was like going, and this is before he got into the house. And he was like, well, these people are just way overpaying for houses. I was like, oh no. I was like, this appraisal is not going to come back.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you meet the appraiser at the property?
We, I don't meet them, but we call and send like a package sort of basically detailing it out. Do you meet them?
Yeah. Yeah. And like, as a buyer's agent, I don't say anything. I'm very careful. I will just give them information.
Oh, you're doing it as the buyer's agent, not the listing agent?
Only did it once as the buyer's agent, and that was because the agent who was the seller, she owned the house and she couldn't go. And I wanted to give the appraiser, we had 2 appraisals actually. It was like a weird situation. She switched her lender 2 weeks before closing. So we had to get a second appraisal. So I wanted to show him the comps, and I even gave him the first appraisal. And I didn't talk to him. I said nothing. But he like looked it over in front of me, and he was commenting on, some of the comps that the first appraiser used. Thought it was very interesting. But as a listing agent, I would meet him and I would give him the information, just because I don't know where they're coming from. How far away are they?
Right.
Area? Are they familiar with the neighborhoods and the developments? Or are they from like, an hour or more away and they don't know the area?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think like all these little things are like, they could be affecting like the perception, right? Which, even though it is all supposed to be based on data, you can make the data say whatever you want.
Well, that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to say, when you use the statistics as, for a new listing, and you're for information as an agent, hopefully you do look at the property history of other comps that you're using, but some agents might not think of that, and they might not do that. So then you're kind of skewing the information that has to do with how much over asking was it.
Right. That's true. I didn't even think about that. Right.
See, so I'm sure there are people who don't think about that. And I'm not saying I think about everything, but if you're gonna look up comps, don't you want to know for your seller, like, this one sold in 5 days and it got 30,000 over asking. This one sold in 3 days, $100,000 over asking. But this one that you skewed the information on sold in 3 days and sold for list price, but it really didn't. Right. The agent tried to manipulate the information.
Right. No, I get it. I feel like that one, Monica kind of beat me on that, I think. Yeah. It's okay. It happens more often than it should. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, that's really good. Well, I appreciate your points. Those are really good points. So I don't know if people were kind of on my scene, what they think now. It'd be interesting to hear from them. But what if people have a referral for you in Pennsylvania? What is the best way to get a hold of you?
They can reach me at bucksagent1, the number 1, at gmail.com, or madeline.jones@foxroach.com. And I have an Instagram. They can follow me on there. It's Bucks Agent.
Easy. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you being on. Thanks, Madeline.
So much.
Bye.
Take care.